of various types of faith, or even no faith. It's not specific just to one set of beliefs. It's also celebrated by people of Mexican descent in other nations, such as the USA. Our family does a pretty simple ofrenda. And I believe actually in multiple Spanish-speaking countries in Central and South America have sometimes a version of Dia de los Muertos. It does suggest by research, from this research I'm reading here, that it looks very Catholic at first, but there is a little bit of syncretism in that culture where different influences have been merged. So if you grew up, let's say, Irish Catholic, we're not saying that this is part of the official Roman Catholic tradition. There's a little bit of syncretism. All right, let me kind of keep going here and push forward to, many people do believe that with the food and the offerings, they believe that those actually are for the souls and spirits of people we love to come back and enjoy, to have their kind of earthly pleasures again. And that's especially with those sugar skulls and the pan de muerto. I need to let Rita share more about some of the other decorations and display, and then I'll kind of finish it up and invite you to be part of this celebration.
Just let everyone know, for those who have to go to the fashion show, I'll let you up first to eat. Okay?
I'm going to be talking to you about one of the most iconic figures in the tradition of the Day of the Dead, and that's La Catrina. And that's who I'm dressed up as today, with the fancy hat and the Victorian style clothing. And she started out actually as a cartoon figure that was very satirical back in 1910 by Jose Guadalupe Posada. And the point of that cartoon was to remind people to not pretend to be someone that you really aren't. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your social status, we're all going to end up one day as skeletons. So it was just a social criticism of Mexican society at that time. Well, Diego Rivera, who is the famous muralist from Mexico, he created a mural of 400 years of Mexican history, and he put the figure of La Catrina front and center in the mural and made her image black and white, and all the other images had color, so she really stood out. And that's when she became known as La Catrina. And what the image represents is that the self-involved, rich society person who tried to inspire to dress like the Europeans, that, you know, when all is said and done, she's going to be just as dead as any other person on this earth. She is a combination of an Aztec goddess of death, the Mexican belief to view death as part of life, and view it with a sense of humor, and it as well as being a social critique of the social classes. It is a symbol of Mexican culture and endurance. And on my La Catrina hat, I am wearing the cempasúchil, which is the word for marigold in Spanish, and that's probably the most common flower that's used in the Day of the Dead celebration. It has a very pungent smell, and that is symbolically helping the spirits to return. Now, the Mexicans don't, you know, it's not like they believe that people are coming back to life. It's remembering them. They're coming back to life in our hearts. And there's two types of celebrations. There's a very private celebration that a family would do, setting up an altar in their home with their family members, pictures and their favorite foods, and celebrating their happy memories of that person in their life. And then there are the public celebrations, which you may have seen on TV with the fancy costumes. And that also is a celebration of the Day of the Dead, but that is different than the private family celebrations. I'm going to throw it back to Christine because she has a fascinating story to tell you about her skirt. You may have noticed there are probably 100 photographs on her skirt of different family members that are very special to her. So I'll throw it back to Christine to tell you about that.
So yeah, I had this idea for an ofrenda skirt. Where it came from, I don't know, it developed over a couple of years. But I have dear family members, as we all do, that we miss, that we long for. And I printed photos of my grandmother, my great-grandmother. And these all happen to be the Mexican side of my family, plus my dad, who was a fair-skinned, European-descended dad. And although once when he went through an illness and lost his hair, it came back dark brown and curly, and we said, "You finally turned Mexican." All the years of eating grandma's rice and beans and changed you. He was more likely Irish-German, but so I have their photos, the people that I've said goodbye to, but I miss all the time, of course. And then just to share with the ofrenda, I put on my grandmother, Hortensia Martinez, and my great-grandmother, Natividad Gonzalez. Grandma Nati, or Natividad, was born on Christmas Day. So they did name her after Christmas, Natividad, Little Christmas. And as we were kind of learning about this holiday together, we wanted to make it available for anybody who brought a photo of somebody that you love that you've unfortunately had to say a farewell to. And so as part of the ofrenda, you can have a moment to put it over there and just spend some time with it if you like. Spend some time with us as we'll be over there. There are candles, I think, that we can switch on. Or we're gonna think about candles that we can switch on. We light a candle in our hearts. Okay, we'll do that. But it really is a celebration of this community, and the people that we in this room have loved and had to part with. And I think it'll be up for a little while through the dinner, which is special. So we all have a story, and that's a great place to put a picture to share a little bit of our stories. My great-grandmother's story is actually in print up there, and I'm happy to chat about it. But this is about your loved ones and your story. And can I open it up to? All right. So yes, please, if you have a photo prepared and you want to bring it to the ofrenda, I can't wait to see it. We're going to have some music and let you do that while we carry on with the dinner.